Good morning, y'all. This is Hale Thick Madame, and I want to get some reviews out of the way so that I can enjoy the rest of my day. Hopefully, actually get some gaming in or whatever else I want to do because I'm so far behind on TV shows and things I want to do because I've been working so much. I'm not complaining. I'm just saying, y'all see, rough. I'm looking, but anyway, I digress, y'all. Before I even get into the review, I was so excited just for them to do the little playback of what happened last time because, I got my life again because I saw Keisha get killed again. And I was just like, yes. I mean, y'all, I'm not evil. It's just, you can tell that she's the type of person that's not built for that life. And it's like, why would you get yourself involved like that? It's already bad enough that you've decided to be in a relationship with this person. You couldn't just let it stay a relationship and he go do what he do and come back to you and screw and then, whatever. But you really want to get involved, get your hands dirty. And then, look where you're at now. Dead. Looking, your son over here finna be looking like a fool. Anyway, y'all, getting into this recap. Y'all excuse me, I have the just woke up voice. I mean, it's just so relaxing, all this rain going on. So I really want to stay in the bed, but I'm like, let me get up. And I already am still depressed. Anyway, y'all, I'm sorry. Getting back to the recap. Y'all, this started out with Tommy sitting in his car. It's actually daylight now, and he's sitting in his car, and Cash is in the back seat asleep. Now, I don't know if Cash knows about his mother's status yet, but he's in the back asleep. And then they actually show Tommy go over to his father's place and drop him off, and he's asleep then too. So he ain't gonna say nothing, y'all. That's why a lot of people have been reading about this child who they have playing Cash because they feel like he can't act as it is. When he says something, it's like, you can't act, and then he ain't saying nothing again. Y'all, I ain't got nothing to do with that. I don't care enough to even say anything as far as me having an opinion on that. But anyway, y'all, the person who is playing his daddy is Jesse Williams. Better known to everybody who is into the TV show Grey's Anatomy as Jackson Avery. Now, even if you don't know him like that, if you pay attention at all to any of the news, celebrity gossip, and all that stuff, a little while ago he was in the headlines, not just on celebrity stuff, because he'd been out with some other woman, he had been cheating on his wife, and then people saw what his wife looked like, and they were trying to read, and I kind of felt like with that situation, his household seemed secure before people got a glimpse into what his home life looked like. And people wanted to try to read his wife. And they were like, "Oh, you look like that. You light skinned with green eyes, and look at her. Even though she light skinned, I think she was like kind of big a little bit or whatever." And I don't know, y'all. People were trying to read the wife, and now he got a new woman or whatever. And it's like whatever, y'all. To make a long story short about this TV show with him being in this, I cannot. The role that they had him try to play was like, I guess he's supposed to be some no good gangster guy, and that's why Cash is never around him, and Keisha never really, from what we know, let him be around his daddy because I guess he's in that life, and I'm like, girl, the man you with in that life, but whatever. So, old boy was like, well, what happened? And he was like, I don't know what happened, but Keisha was a good woman, and I'm gonna find out who did this to her and they're gonna pay. And so he was like, man, just let me know if there's anything I can do. And he left. So considering that he has been around his son and all this other stuff, he didn't seem like the typical dude. Even though there are a lot of guys out here who are very, very, very deadbeat status, as soon as they find out that you have been around a child that is biologically theirs, they want to have a problem. And even more so if they found that you have been screwing the person who they've impregnated at one point in time. But he seemed cool about it or whatever and went on about his business. So Tommy didn't even get out to his car yet, and Blanca rolled up on him and was like, I need to talk to you and question him about Keisha and all this other stuff. And I'm glad that she could tell that he wasn't involved in killing her. So, all cops aren't completely terrible. That's all I'm gonna say on that. Y'all, Ghost is looking for the perfect place to go in on a joint venture with Jason with. So he's found this penthouse and it has full security and all this other stuff. And he is bringing the idea to Jason so that he can go legit and have his own business to do whatever he want to do with, and I'm just like, I get it, but is he going to go for that? Y'all, he pitches the idea to Jason eventually. And he was like, look, I'm coming to you, letting you know that I found a building and that I want to go in half with you on the money, because Jason was looking at him like, okay, where you going to find all this money at? Because you barely can come up with the money for me. So he was like, well, that's why I'm here. And he was just letting him know that they wanted to have a legit business and both of their names to be on the paperwork, and they go in as partners, but Jason would be a silent partner. And so, he kind of trying to hear him out because he's seen what success Ghost has had in doing such things. So, he kind of is open to the idea to at least go and see what the property looked like and talk a little bit more. So, he gonna see where that go. Y'all, tell me why Ramona rolled up on Ghost with the woman who Tate is going up against, and at that same building where he was actually going to show Jason. And so she was like, well, I have an opportunity for you, and Tate ain't here for you like that no more, but I have an opportunity for you. Y'all, the opponent tried to sit up there and play him, and Ghost was just like, look, just cut the BS. Like, why are you really here? I feel like you just want me to be that blackface, to be on your ticket, to have, voters vote for you. And so she basically was like, yeah. And she asked him officially if he would be his lieutenant governor. So, he's kind of letting them think that he's not going to really consider it, but he's going to consider that. You already know. Especially since he ain't got the Queen's Child Project no more. It's like he got truth and that's it. Y'all, so Tommy is definitely in his feelings. He at the house and he is looking at the engagement ring that he had just gotten for Keisha. So while he's having a moment just thinking about her and the state that he found her in and how he was going to have this future with her, Ghost calls him. So him and Ghost had this plan where they were going to set Jason up. And so Ghost was calling to confirm that everything was done. And so he goes on to say, yeah, Ghost, I did exactly as you asked me to do. I put the gun in the box in the elevator. So the setup is supposed to be he's going to bring Jason to that building. And while he's going up in the elevator, he's going to act as though he's tying his shoe or something. And he's going to get the gun and kill Jason. All right. So I gathered that he didn't do that, especially after he feels as though Tommy, Ghost, y'all, he feels as though Ghost killed I was about to say fiance, his girlfriend Keisha. So he ain't do nothing. Y'all, tell me why. When he ended the conversation, he said, peace, brother. And so Ghost did too. And I guess Ghost felt like that was the old days. And it did seem like the old days when he said that. But in Tommy's mind, that was, this is the end of it. I'm done with you. He left his phone on the counter and he took the box that had the engagement ring and everything else with him and left out. So then the next scene is Dre going outside to meet up with Blanca. He meeting up with Blanca, and Blanca is like, look, you need to give me more information. I got other stuff going on. And he was like, look, all I can tell you, I ain't got no information for you. And he tried to get out the car. And so, he just feels like I still can't be free, even though I got all that stuff going on. I'm trying to have my own life. You won't let me live. And then it gets to a point where he was like, look, if you really want to get some information, you need to go ahead and get the information off of that tracker that y'all had on me, and you'll find what you need to find. The warehouse that Tommy and them got all their drugs and stuff in, and where they meet up at, the location is on there somewhere. So do that and get out of my face. So he went on ahead. He went on ahead and left. Y'all, I literally made notes of this, and I said, "Old snitch, step and fetch Dre." Y'all, like, Dre, I cannot with Dre. Y'all, so anyway, um, but yeah, she was like, okay, if your information pans out, we will have all of them arrested by the end of the night. Y'all, Ghost met up with Jason and told him about the legit business plans. Ramona is lying to Tate like she is here for him and, gonna revamp the campaign and help him to get back out there. And he let her know, like, for real, just in case you didn't know, I'm all the way done with James. I want nothing else to do with him. Like, I'm all the way done. Y'all, Ghost popped up at Tasha's daycare. And when he rolled up, of course he rolls up when the stripper girl, what's her name, Epiphany, was giving her a wad of cash that she'd, accumulated from all the people at her business, her place of business at the strip club. And he immediately accused her of running drugs out of the daycare and all this other stuff. They got into it and she told him to get out. Like, she went all like, oh my gosh, y'all, it's so nasty right now. Their situation is so volatile. But anyway, she told him to get out. Y'all, I can't. So, and he was just like, I don't want our son to be around this and all this other stuff. Y'all, it was just a lot. Y'all got to see this episode. This episode did the most. Y'all, Dre called Jason and gave him a heads up about Tommy. And, and it's all because of the information that he fed Blanca. Y'all, Ghost showed up to Tariq's school because Tasha was like, yeah, I got to work. I ain't got time for this. And so he was like, yeah, I'm the only parent who cares about our son. And so she was like, no, I care about our son too. Y'all, it was just a lie. I was so tired in my spirit. But he showed up to the school. The teacher that y'all know is running drugs for Tariq and them, whether he knows it or not. He was talking about how well he does and how bright he is and all that stuff. Y'all, then this man proceeds to say that he's even doing well at his after school job. And y'all know the after school job is him being at the daycare with his mama. And so Ghost is like, after school job. He was like, yeah, he's working at the daycare with his mom, and apparently they have it where the hours that they work go towards stuff at the school and all that. And Ghost is over here trying to connect dots, y'all. Ghost has set it all the way off, and he do like Ghost do. He done rolled up in the house unannounced, and he just sitting there waiting on Tasha to get home. So Tasha get home, and she was like, what you doing in my house? So he done rolled up on her and was like, you need to, like, why are you selling drugs out of the daycare? And why you got our son mixed up in this? I don't want my son going through this. I don't want my son doing all this. They got into a really, really, really bad situation to the point of where he threatened to take Yaz. And so she was like, are you threatening me? And he was like, I'm not allowing you to do this to our family and all this. Y'all, she threatened him and was like, well, I'll tell them about Terry Silver. And so he was just looking at her like, girl, he got so mad that he yanked her up, like, for real. Like, he hemmed her all the way up. And he yanked her up and he slammed her into the refrigerator. And she was like, I will scream. You get away from me. You get off of me. You let me go. I will scream. Then he covered her mouth. And then it's like he saw the horror in her eyes. And then, like, I guess he felt the old Ghost coming out a little bit. So he was like, let me pull back on old Ghost. And he let her go. Like, y'all, he yanked her, like, for real. Like, really, really hard. Like, she was hurt, like, for real. He bruised her. Y'all, so... Y'all, I was so tired. It was just too much. And before I forget, y'all, the woman that dances at the club said she ain't doing none of this stuff no more because after all this happened, he got so mad with Tasha that he went to his club and was drinking, and he called the police, the feds, or whoever, was like, yeah, somebody's running drugs out of the daycare, and I care about my neighborhood. I just don't want that to happen in my neighborhood or whatever. Yes, I want to stay anonymous. So they had Blanca and all her buddies to come up in there. And so she was like, what are you talking about? There's nothing going on here. Them people to search the premises and ain't nothing there. And I'm like, dumb. You are so dumb, Ghost. Ain't no way you think she that dumb to where she gonna have drugs just out there so that somebody can walk in and get her. So they found nothing. And, you know, Tasha is really like, yeah, I'm done with him, like, for real. If she wasn't done before, she's all the way done now. Y'all, so the dancer said that after that happened, because she had just done that transaction, after that happened, she was like, girl, I'm done. I ain't got time for this no more. All of the girls at the club are done. We ain't doing this for you no more. And so Tasha trying to figure out what she gonna do, y'all. So Tommy, his folks got caught up. They were waiting on Tommy to show up. He had just called them and told them to meet him at the warehouse and that they got a lot of stuff they got to do. And y'all, they were in there talking, and somebody was like, how long we gonna keep running for Tommy? We might get caught up in all this other stuff. And y'all, them people bust in. They arrested all of them. Tommy was running late because he was doing other things, you know, all the stuff going on with him. I mean, it's crazy because with her getting killed, that freed him up to, you know, he went and took the child over to his daddy's house. So he was late getting there, meeting up with them. So they done congregated and they all done got arrested. And he was like looking through the gate, looking at the situation go down. And so Spank and old boy, who he always have an issue with, they saw him and they were like, man, he set us up. And they were in their feelings about it. And they were like, yeah, this ain't over. And they were like, yeah, this ain't over. I was like, oh my gosh, these fools think that he set them up. I don't even understand why they would think that. Tommy ain't that type of person, no matter how bad of a pinch he's in. I don't think Tommy would ever stoop to that level. You would just have to kill him. I'm sorry. Y'all, Dre really out here trying to be the new distro, and I'm tired. He rounded up his own group of soldiers, and he was like, oh, well, we gonna have all kinds of stuff going on tonight, so y'all stay tuned. Y'all, you know, stay by the phone. Like, he did the most, y'all. So Quincy randomly showed up to the daycare and was talking to Tasha. And so she was like, what are you doing here? He was like, well, I heard what happened earlier. And so she confided in him and was like, I don't know what I'm going to do. I got to run this daycare, but I ain't going to have nothing. Like, I don't know how I'm going to run this without money, because, you know, them people ain't really bringing no money in like that. They really are not. So he was like, well, I can help you. And so she was like, well, I don't need your help. I'm okay. And you know, he was guessing that Ghost was behind all this stuff. You know, he was like, was it your ex who did this to you? And so, you know, she kind of is I know snitch and I ain't gonna say nothing. I'm gonna do it by myself. Don't worry about who did it. And so he was like, yeah, it was him. Then he saw her arm was bruised. And so he was like, what happened to you? Did he do this to you? And then she was just like, look, I can handle him on my own. I can handle all this on my own. And he was like, look, I want you. And she was just like, look, I want you, but I can't let you do any of this other stuff for me or whatever. And it's like she want him, but she don't want him, because every time she get caught up with somebody, they end up dead. Y'all, so they end up making out a little bit. And I was like, oh, Lord. Y'all, Ghost met up with Jason like he was supposed to. And he had already told him ahead of time when he met up with him, you know, you can't bring any firearms. It's heavily guarded. And, you know, it's security everywhere. You know, the building is secure. You don't have to worry about all that. I can't bring mine either. So, you know, you ain't got to worry about all that. So against his better judgment, the person who he confided in, Jason, that guy who's always with him, he told him, like, I'm going to go meet up with him in this place. And, you know, I don't know how it's going to end up, but he's trying to go legit. And, like, he's really serious about not being a distro and being legit and not fooling with that side of the game anymore. And so he encouraged him to take the gun. And he was like, no, I'm not, no, I can't do it. I'm not gonna bring a gun. But, he brought something else. So anyway, he goes to the metal detector because the way they made the clip show, the clip made it seem like he might have snuck it in, but I'm like, how he gonna sneak it in though? But the way they did the scene, when he did come up there and he had to go through the metal detector, it made it seem like, okay, Ghost went through just fine. He ain't have nothing. So the guy asked him to, step through the metal detector and all that stuff. And so he was like, looking like he was kind of hesitant. And I'm like, wait a minute. What is he going to do? Is he going to pull this gun out and shoot this man? And then go at it with Ghost? Like, what is going to happen? So, y'all, he ended up doing what he needed to do. He went through the metal detector just fine. So then Ghost was like, okay, I'm good. So they get on the elevator, start going up. Y'all, Ghost act like he about to tie his shoe. Lies. He done reached in the little emergency box thing. He don't find nothing. So then he realizes, wait a minute, something going on. They ain't supposed to be going on. About to get got. At that same moment, Tommy texts him and let him know that Ghost is about to try to kill him. So then they end up trying to fight each other hand to hand. Y'all, Jason had the upper hand until Ghost came along and did what he did. Y'all, old boy was able to sneak in like this wire so that he could strangle Ghost with it, right? Y'all, he was choking him at first, but then Ghost got the upper hand. He choked that man out and killed him, tore his neck down. So when they got up to the top of the building, because that's where they were going to go, they were going to go up there and I guess further discuss some stuff. And they got up there, he ended up dragging that man's body out there, and then he went on about his business. So then he looked at the phone and he saw that Tommy dimed him out, and he was like, this don't make no, y'all know what he said, this MF. I was like, oh my God. Y'all, he was so deep in his feelings about that. Y'all, anyway. So then he texted somebody else. I think he texted Jason's right hand and told him that Dre has been double crossing them or whatever. And then he ended up putting the phone back in old boy pocket. Y'all, so he went downstairs and then he went to talk to the dude that, I guess it's the head security guy. And he was like, look, it's going to be a guy who's going to come up here who light skinned, shorter than me, and he told him what he needed him to do. And he was like, get rid of that footage of me walking in here because it don't need to look like I was here at all. And forget my face. I was never here. You ain't never seen me before. Gave that man a water money and walked off. So I was like, oh Lord. Y'all. So yeah, I thought I had went over the part. Y'all, tell me why. So Ghost in it. Y'all, every time Ghost get deep in his feelings, his plans get foiled. He end up going back to Truth and get him another drink. Y'all, he done went to Truth. Benny done popped up in there. The building was locked. He was like, man, Benny, what you doing here? How you get in here like this? He was like, look, don't worry about all that. I had a past. I know how to do these things. Don't worry about all that. So then he was talking to him. He was like, look, you need to tell me the truth. Why did you lie to me about who killed my cousin or whatever? And he was like, man, I ain't lie to you. He told me that this person was after him and he came to my place with his daughter so that he can get out of the line of fire, and all the other stuff went down. So then he was like, look, I don't understand. It ain't adding up. That person that you told me did it, he was out of town for a month. He was already out of town. He was out of the country. So that's a lie. So either you need to tell me the truth or, it's going to be some problems. So he was like, look, I ain't got no evidence of it, but I think Tommy might have did it. And so he was like, why do you think that? And so he was talking to him and he was just like, well, that day when I came to y'all's aid, when I got between y'all and Vincent for the sake of your son, I got this vibe from Tommy, but I let it go. I shook it off. Y'all, so he was like, well, all you need to know is I'm going to go roll up on Tommy and see what it's hidden for. And either he going to give me answers or he going to give me some blood. So I was like, oh, Lord. So he going to find Tommy. Tommy, Tasha, and Tariq met up. So Tommy going off and he talking about how Ghost killed Keisha. Y'all, when I tell y'all, Tariq looked at his mama and she was like, oh, What? Oh my gosh. This is terrible. I can't believe this. Tried to act. Y'all, he get it from his mama. So he was looking at her like, girl, what kind of lie is this? You lying. You knew about this. This is what he's saying to himself. This is just all based off the look that he gave his mama. So Tommy is buying it. He don't know how she is. He don't live with her day in and day out. He ain't live with her. So he don't know how she get down. So Tariq looking at her like, okay, this heifer lying. I'm gonna get her when he leave. So he was like, we gotta get him. I just came here as a courtesy to let you know I ain't asking nothing. I'm just letting you know he gotta go. And so Tariq was like, oh, I'm here for it. All right, I'm cool. I understand. And so Tasha was like, I understand too. So then, they actually saw the bruise on her arm and was like, what happened to you? The ghost do that? And so she was like, basically like, yeah. He was like, yeah, he gotta go. Y'all, when Tommy left, Tariq rolled up and was like, what is going on here? What is the problem? I don't understand. And she was like, look, I don't want to have secrets and all that. So she did fess up to killing Keisha and that she was going to turn on them. And she was like, I did it for you. I did it for us. She was going to flip on us. So I had to do it. I had no choice. I didn't want to do it, but I had to do it. Y'all. And so he got mad because he was like, I'm supposed to be protecting you. And so she was like, I did it to protect you. I did it to protect you. He was like, no, that's not how it's supposed to go. I'm supposed to be protecting you. So he got in his feelings. And so she was like, okay, because he was like, you need to let me protect you. And so she was like, okay, or whatever. So, oh my gosh, y'all, I was so tired. Y'all, Benny rolled up on Tommy and was like, what's going on? And he was like, hey, what are you doing here? And he was like, yeah, I need to know what's going on. I heard that you killed my cousin and all this other stuff. He was like, what are you talking about? Y'all, old boy pulled out a knife on Tommy. And I guess he was too big and slow for him. He ended up getting the knife turned on him. He stabbed him. He bled out and died. I was like, oh, Lord, Benny. Why, sir? Dre went to the building. He went to this building to meet to meet Jason. And then he got set up. Like he was gonna get set up. But everything didn't go all the way through. So he went up. That man let him go through like he was gonna go. He already knew the instructions. Went up there. He got up to the roof. He saw old boy laying on the ground. He was like, oh no. You start hearing sirens. He trying to figure out what he gonna do. So some random other security guy was like, what's going on down there? And he over here got a flashlight. Looking like, what's going on down there? I was like, oh my gosh. I'm like, oh, this fool finna get got. I'm trying to figure out how he gonna get out of the building. So I told y'all, he's like a cat. He got 9 lives. He's one of these 2019 cats, but they got 150 or something because I don't understand. He got out of that situation somehow, y'all. Anyway, and we gonna get to that. Y'all, Tate rolled up to confront Ghost and wanted to tell him himself that he ain't dealing with him no more and, forget him and all that. And he was just like, he basically tried to read Ghost. And he actually called him Ghost. And y'all know his backstory, his history about him being in law enforcement and all that stuff before. So he kind of tried to read him like, the criminal that he actually is. But still, I'm just saying. And, he was like, look, you ain't got to worry about me no more. It's all right. It's cool. You can read about my next move in the paper tomorrow. So, for some reason, he didn't take the hint. Like, he basically told him what it was, but he didn't even, take the hint. Y'all, anyway, as soon as he was done there, Ramona rolled up on him. And so he was like, oh, yeah, I'm so glad to see you. We need to get started on our next strategy. And she was like, yeah, sorry. I just can't let you know I can't work for you anymore. He looking like, what you mean? What you talking about? And so she was like, I can't work for you anymore. I'm working for your opponent and the person who's going to be the next lieutenant governor. And he was like, what you talking about? She ain't got nobody. And so she was like, well, I might as well go ahead and be the first one to tell you. That's going to be James St. Patrick. Oh yeah, he had to pick his face up off the floor. He probably still trying to pick that mug up. But yeah, I bust out laughing. It was hilarious. Y'all, and she told him, you lost, boo. I was like, ma'am. Y'all, Blanca went to find Sax. He was in some club listening to some good jazz music. And so she was like, I know you ain't with the department no more, but you really had different methods and ways that you want to put these people behind bars and get the job done. And even though I don't agree with everything, I understand your intent behind it. So I'm trying to seek some advice from you. So she let him know about Keisha getting killed and all this other stuff. And, she actually kind of teamed up with him unofficially because, he is still fired despite, her trying to talk to him. And yeah, so they went to go talk to Tasha together. And Tasha ain't trying to talk about nothing, y'all. She put on the act like she ain't know nothing about Keisha getting killed. Well, she did know, she knew she got killed, but she was trying to put on this act like, oh my gosh, I heard about it. Even though we weren't on good terms anymore, that was still my sister. And I was like, girl, the lies. Y'all, so Stacks were like, yeah, let's just go ahead and cut past all this. So, how did he do it? Want to know how Ghost did it, if Ghost did it or whatever. And so for some reason she was just like, he didn't do anything. He did not kill her. And I guess she thought that they had something on her because the way she was looking at first, it made it seem like she was like, ooh, I must have messed up. They got some evidence on me. And, they were trying to get information on him. And so she was like, look, all I know is that he didn't kill her, but I can give you something else, which is I know he killed Terry, but I don't have any evidence. And so Blanca was like, you're going to have to give us a body. Like, unless we have a body, then we won't be able to go off of anything that you're telling us. So she gave them information on this parking garage where there's no cameras. And that's where she speculates that there is some evidence of him being there. Y'all, they went over there, checked it out. Sure enough, Terry was in the trunk, dead, decomposing, and stanking it up. And so Sax, raggedy behind, went in the car looking for stuff. Like, both of them were supposed to be searching for stuff. But of course, somehow Sax finds some of the most vital information first, which was a cell phone. And so he grips it up and grabs it up before she can see it. And so she was like, you find anything? And then flashes the flashlight over at him. And then she's being shown these playbills of plays and stuff that he's gone to. And he was like, well, yeah, I mean, he likes going to plays. He liked going to plays, apparently. And that's it. That's all he's trying to make it seem like he's found. But he didn't got that phone. Y'all, I'm tired of my spirit, right? So Dre somehow got into the building where Sax was living at. He got out of the building somehow. He done went to Sax's house and was like, look, I need your help. All this stuff is going wrong. And y'all, I was just like, Lord, you doing too much. He was like, you said you want Tommy or Ghost or somebody. I can help you, whatever. I want to do whatever I got to do because there's too much going on right here. And because all this stuff went down with Jason, now he's like willing to do anything Sax talking about. So Sax politely went in the back, got that phone, and was like, yeah, you need to plant this at his hotel, St. Patrick's Hotel. And, we'll go from there. And he was like, you want me to plant evidence? He was like, I mean, yeah. I mean, it's for a guilty person. He's guilty. And sometimes the system just fails and you're not able to get everything you're supposed to get because people slip through the cracks. So, Dre's willing to do it. He actually went and planted the phone in his, in some little bar or somewhere at the apartment. I mean, at the little, hotel that James is staying at. Y'all, he's at the y'all, this was the end of the episode, y'all. He at the club drinking again. Y'all, Tariq set it off, come up the steps, throw the key over there. He was like, I won't be needing this anymore. He was like, what are you talking about? Why? He was like, don't you ever put your hand on my mama again. He done went off on his daddy. Went all the way off on him. It's like, if you ever put your hand on my mama again, I'll kill you myself. It done went all the way off. Y'all, to make a long story short, to end it all, Tariq said, don't get it twisted. You might have given me life, but you ain't never been my father. That was the end, y'all. Bye.